Good afternoon and welcome to Rivers Investment Group, the paraclete of wealth management. I'm Danny Rivers, also known as Papa Bear, at least to the three most important people in the world.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about what we have learned about the Lanxess 401k. Basically, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it, thanks Tim McGraw. And then the things that I'd say, well, not so much, the things that I think the plan really needs, but it doesn't have. And so I'll talk about the good and the bad. And my special guest today is Mark Day. Mark has been a friend of mine for a long time, a client of mine for a long time, and Mark and I have worked on several projects outside the office. But Mark works at Lanxess, and we recently made a phone call to Lanxess together and both learned quite a bit about the 401k, and it really was helpful to Mark. We thought we'd share some of those things with you. Mark, if I ask you just for a minute, briefly tell us what you do, what's your title, what's your role there at Lanxess in El Dorado?
Sure. So I'm the public relations and land manager here for Lanxess in South Arkansas. So I've been here probably for about 3 years, going on 3 years now. So
nice. Well, let's jump right into the 401k. And let me say, first of all, I endorse 401ks. Wherever you work, I have one word for you, and that is participate. I'm a student of 401ks. I love learning about them. And I would love to dive in with you and learn about your 401k, just like we did with Mark. So you can call me. You can reach out to me at daniel@riversigg.com, or you can use the Ask Papa Bear. I actually have an email address for that. Ask Papa Bear at riversigg.com. Ask Papa Bear at riversig.com. So jumping in, Lanxess, what we learned. First, Mark, if you wouldn't mind, tell us about matching. That's one of the greatest things most companies do on a 401k, and Lanxess is especially generous. Tell us how Lanxess operates, how they match.
Yeah, so Lanxess, they match dollar for dollar up to 2% of your income. So if you give $1, they match it $1 for dollar up to 2% of your income, and then they match 50 cents on the dollar up to 2% again. So that means they encourage us to put in 4%. So I put in 2%, so they put in 2%, and then I put in 4%, and they match that 50 cents on the dollar up to 2% of my income. So they put in another 2%. So
that's awesome. So
and then they put in another portion of that. They put in 5% just because. So
just because they love you.
That's right.
So Lanxess is going to put in 5%, and then their suggestion is that everyone do 6 so that they can get a 2% dollar for dollar match, and then a 4% 50 cents on the dollar match.
Yep.
I think that's a tremendous plan. So if you work at Lanxess, you don't need my endorsement, but I'm just saying I fully endorse it. I think it's a great plan for you to get into. Oh, Mark asked me also when we jumped in here last time when we were on the phone with the folks at Lanxess, that the max that you can put in as an employee doesn't go towards your max contribution from the IRS. So the max an employee can put in right now for 2021 is $19,500, and that match, the matching part does not count against you on your on your part. So let's talk also about the safety and the growth preferences. Mark, you remember there were 5 choices from very safe to moderate to aggressive.
That's right.
And so the first thing they wanted you to do on the website was pick one of those 5 places. And what we noticed when we went in with yours, and the reason we do these things together, is that yours wasn't right.
That's right. That's right.
You had at least answered the questions to the point that Lanxess thought you wanted to be moderate. But you and I talked. You wanted to be more aggressive. So we had to move you from the middle position over to the aggressive position. And that's something we did, together. So I also really liked that on the site, it showed you your potential 1-year loss in dollars which I thought was a very nice feature. It actually shows you downside risk, and that's very, very important as an investment manager to me, to make sure clients understand, what their risk is. I love the fact that Lanxess showed you, Vanguard showed you your potential 1-year loss actually in dollars. I also liked the website in terms of the fact that it had some educational sections that I thought would be very, very helpful. Some of them didn't pertain to the 401k. Some of them just said how to cut up your credit cards or how to fund education. There were a lot of educational pieces, how to start with a budget. I really liked. I think that you ought to spend some time studying those. I know you have, but I'm just saying that Lanxess employees should spend some time on the Vanguard site, and you'll really learn a lot. I also liked the fact that Vanguard was sending you suggestions. I think you actually got an email or some sort of notice. Did you get a letter in the mail or an email?
No, we get emails.
Okay, so it suggested that if you increased your contributions, how it might affect your future. It was just a suggestion, you didn't have to take it. But I liked the fact that they were helping you look forward a little bit, saying if you increase by just a little bit, here's what it would do for you. Okay, so on the disappointed side, I see this a lot with 401ks, and I'm not really getting on you or the company at all, but I'm just saying I was disappointed in the fact that there were limited investment choices. I think you had a couple of bond funds, you had a couple of like 4 or 5 US stock funds, 2 international funds, and then the target date retirement funds. But I would have loved to have seen more investment choices. But again, I run into that quite a bit inside 401ks. You don't have as much choices as you would if you were running it yourself in an individual IRA. Oh, let me say I love professional management. I love when you can hire a professional, and that's not always me. but in this case, inside the Vanguard plan, professional management is available through Edelman Financial Services. Instead of do it yourself and having to choose every investment selection, make every investment selection, you can get some help. And Edelman Financial Services will look through your list of answers and design the plan and monitor it towards what you wanted, which was a little bit more aggressive than they had. But again, they do the investment selection. I think that's a great thing. So for a fee, they manage the money. Not that that was a great thing. Last, I guess, on my list is in-service rollover. I thought it was a great opportunity for people and a great thing for the plan to offer. And that is that if you're over 59 and a half, you don't have to leave the company at their choosing or your choosing. Yeah. I'm just saying you don't have to separate from service. If you wanted to do a rollover out of the 401k into an individual IRA, that's something you could consider, something you could talk to your financial advisor about, talk to your tax professional about. But without incurring a tax liability, you could do an in-service, which means you still stay employed, but you could do a rollover. If after research you felt like that was appropriate, you could do a rollover out of the 401k into an individual IRA, individual retirement account. I thought that was a great feature. So all in all, I loved learning about the plan, and I was happy to help you. And
absolutely.
Do you have any other comments? Any other thoughts?
No, I appreciate your help. I mean, it was easy to chat with you, and then we called in, and it worked out really well. So.
Well, great. I was glad to be a help, and again, learn something that we can use to help other employees. So again, we appreciate the 401k there at Lanxess. We learned a lot about it, and get in touch with me if you think you need help.